माननीय सभासदों, माननीय उप सभापति जी,
Further discussion on India's strong, successful and decisive Operation Sindoor in response to terrorist attack in Pahalgam raised by Sri Rajnath Singh, Rajnath Singh, Minister of Defense on 29 July 2025. माननीय श्री एस जयशंकर।
Honorable Chairman, sir, it's a privilege to participate in the discussion on Operation Sindoor. And like everybody else in this House, I laud the performance of our armed forces and the results that have done this country so proud. Sir, when the Pahalgam attack happened on April 22nd, it was a shocking attack for a variety of reasons. The manner in which people were killed in front of their families, the fact that the fate was asked before killing them, the intent of destroying the economy of Jammu and Kashmir, which had returned to normalcy and prosperity after the end of Article 370. All of this, it angered the country. There was grief, there was shock. Across the world, there was solidarity, there was sympathy. But the question was, what after that? And the answers were two. One, such an attack was absolutely unacceptable. It crossed our red lines. There had to be severe consequences. And two, there had to be accountability and justice. There had to be accountability of the perpetrators, and they and their supporters had to be brought to justice. Now, the first clear message, sir, of India's anger, of our resolve, of our determination, was the decision taken by the Cabinet Committee on Security immediately, the day after, on 23rd of April. A number of steps were taken. Pakistani visas under SARC were cancelled. The mission was reduced in strength. The military advisors were expelled. But the most important decision was to hold the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. Now, sir, there has been a lot of discussion in the House. Different members have expressed their opinion, as they should. But I think the importance of this step, it's necessary that the House understand and appreciate it. Because, sir, the Indus Waters Treaty in many ways is a very unique agreement. I cannot think of any agreement in the world where a country has allowed its major rivers to flow to the next country without having rights on that river. So it was an extraordinary agreement. And it's important when we have put it in abeyance to recall the history of this agreement. Now, I know, sir, yesterday I heard some people are uncomfortable with history. They prefer that historical things are forgotten. Maybe it doesn't suit them. They only like to recall some things. So let me, for the benefit of the House, sir, mention three important observations which were made in Parliament on the issue of the Indus Waters Treaty. This was on November 30th, 1960. And the observations were made by the then Prime Minister on this subject. First, he says, I would like to know, is this House now to judge the quantum of supply of water or the quantum of money to be given? I confess I cannot judge it offhand. So the Prime Minister of India then is telling the Parliament, you cannot be a judge of the quantum of water. You should not be looking at how much money we are giving to Pakistan. That is not your business. Let me, sir, give you a second quote. The Prime Minister then goes on, so because many members objected to the Indus Waters Treaty. He says, honorable members have been saying that there was a partition. What has happened is none of our lookout. We should not give them anything. That is neither, now this is the Prime Minister's view, sir, then Prime Minister's view. That is neither a strictly legal, constitutional, or just approach to this problem. If we follow that approach, it would mean turning a great part of West Punjab into almost a wilderness. West Punjab is Pakistani Punjab. So the Prime Minister is saying, let us do this treaty because the Indian Parliament, the Indian government, the country should put the interests of Pakistani Punjab. So not a word about the interests of the Kisan of Kashmir, of the people of Punjab.
Please take your seat. Nothing is going on record. Please, nothing is going on record.
Not a word about Rajasthan, not a word about Himachal, but it is turning a great part of West Punjab.
Take your seat.
Sorry, sir, we can't execute like this.
Into almost a wilderness.
Lying here.
Sir,
Please take your seat.
He's not lying.
सीट पर बैठ करके बोलना सही नहीं है, आप जानते हैं.
sir, then I'll give you the third quote.
Please.
He now says, because people are saying, you are paying money. We felt that in the circumstances, this is the right payment. And we purchased a settlement, if you like. We purchased peace, and it is good for both countries. 1960, sir, he says he purchased peace. We did not purchase peace, sir. It was a purchase of appeasement, because within 1 year, the same Prime Minister accepted that with Pakistan, there was no peace. Now, sir, I hear some noises across the bench. I would be very happy to submit, sir, the Prime Minister's speech in the record of the Lok Sabha and to keep it on the table. Now, I mention this, sir, because that very treaty, that very treaty,
आपका opportunity आएगा, आप बोलें अपनी बात को, please.
that very treaty mentions in the preamble that the Indus Waters Treaty is done in a spirit of goodwill and friendship. Sir, since 1960, we have had neither goodwill nor friendship. We've had terrorism, we've had attacks on our population, we've had wars. Such a treaty had to be dealt with, and this government dealt with it. सभापति महोदय, मैं एक बार और दोहराना चाहता हूं कि उनको फिक्र थी पाकिस्तानी पंजाब, उनको फिक्र जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के किसानों पर नहीं थी, उनको सर फिक्र राजस्थान के किसानों की नहीं थी, उनको फिक्र हिमाचल पर नहीं थी.
Ruchi ji has right to speak. No, please.
और
You'll get your opportunity to speak, please.
सर, उनका कहना था कि संसद का ना हक है कि कितना पानी जाए ना कितना पैसा जाए. और सर, जो वो कहते हैं कि हमने ये शांति की कीमत थी, नहीं सर, ये तुष्टीकरण की कीमत थी. अब सर
Please. We
grew up with the belief that nothing can be done.
Please.
Sir, we were told for 60 years.
आपको मौका मिलेगा, आप बोले, please.
Sir, we were told for 60 years that nothing can be done. Pandit Nehru's mistakes cannot be corrected. The Narendra Modi government shows it can be corrected. Like Article 370 was corrected. The Indus Waters Treaty is being corrected. It will be held in abeyance until Pakistan irrevocably gives up its support of terrorism. Sir, we had warned.
Please.
We had warned. We had warned that blood and water cannot flow together. Today, we are demonstrating that what we say we will do, blood and water will not flow together. Now, sir, let me come to Operation Sindoor. The goals of Operation Sindoor were spelled out very clearly within half an hour of the operation commencing. And it was stated very directly that the objective of Operation Sindoor was hitting terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, from where terrorist attacks against India have been planned and directed. It was also said that our actions are focused, measured, and non-escalatory in nature, and we are living up to a commitment. I will come to that commitment, sir, in the UN Security Council, that those responsible for the attack will be held accountable. Now, sir, the House knows that India has faced a special cross-border challenge, not today, not for 10 years, not for 25 years, from 1947. That from few months after our independence, the cross-border terrorism started when so-called tribal invaders were sent across and they came into Jammu and Kashmir. And from that time, sir, we have had to lead the global fight against terrorism. There is no country in the world, especially I would say after 1980s, there is no country in the world which has had to suffer the kind of terrorism, which has taken the kind of casualties we have, which has seen, so many states, so many facilities, so many people attacked in this inhumane manner. But sir, if we have to shape global thinking, if we have to convince others, we must be clear ourselves. And again, I refer to history. Because why do I refer to history? Because what was decided in the past is not a debating point. The decisions of the past have an impact on the present, have an impact even on the future. We inherit a thinking about us, we inherit a policy, we inherit actions. So we have to see what actually was the record. Now the reality, sir, was, if you look for that decade before the Modi government came to power, we have had a series of attacks. And yes, this is well known. In Mumbai in 2006, because this attack is particularly important, 187 people died.
Please.
In 2000,
You cannot dictate what he will speak. No. Please, let him speak. He will speak. Only this will go on record.
in 2008,
आपको जब इतना मौका मिलेगा तो बोले, आप दूसरे को बोलने से रोक नहीं सकते. प्लीज आप बोले, आपकी बात ही रिकॉर्ड पे जाएगी.
so
आप खुद अपना पक्ष रखते हैं, दूसरा सुनने को तैयार नहीं. प्लीज.
in 2007, 44 people died in Hyderabad. In 2008, the Mumbai attacks of 26/11, the world still remembers it. 246 people died. In Jaipur in 2008, 64 people died. In Ahmedabad in 2008, 57 people died. In Delhi, sir, I am a person from Delhi. I remember the bomb blast which took place in 2008. So we went through a series of attacks. Now, why am I reminding the House of this? I am reminding.
Please, Mr. John Britas, please take your seat.
I am reminding the House because when major terrorist incident happened, the world watched how did India respond, and the world drew lessons. So how did we respond? After 2006, I refer to the Mumbai train bombing. July 2006 was the bombing. In September 2006, within 3 months, we had a meeting in Havana, where it was agreed between the Prime Ministers of India and Pakistan. Instead of holding Pakistan responsible, we said we condemn all acts of terrorism and agree that it's a scourge that needs to be dealt with. And by the way, we will resume our composite dialogue. Now, there are two important points which flow out of it, and they're relevant because this shapes the world's perception of how India is likely to respond. It shaped the world's perception that within 3 months, you are actually equating the victim and the perpetrator. And in a move away from what was agreed to in January 2004 between Prime Minister Vajpayee and General Musharraf, where we Pakistanis had assured us that their territory and territory under their control will not be used to attack us. Now we are saying, yes, terrorism happened. It happened 3 months ago. A lot of people died in Mumbai, but fine, we will go on with the composite dialogue. So this, sir, started shaping the thinking of the world about India's response to terrorism. Now, if this was not bad enough, it was actually Mumbai, 26th level. Now, there is not a single person in this house, not a single person in this country who will ever forget or forgive 26th level. Now, in the case of Mumbai, sir, Mumbai attack happened November 2008. By July 2009, there is a meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh. And in Sharm el-Sheikh, I remind the House, sir, it was agreed terrorism is the main threat to both countries. Both countries. I mean, that guy does that attack. And we say terrorism is a threat to both countries. Terrorist action on terrorism should not be linked to composite dialogue. And of all things, sir, there was an astounding connection to Balochistan. I mean, we are allowing the Pakistanis to imply as though we are doing something wrong after. And this is not just a statement, sir. It is coming after the most horrific attack in Mumbai just a few months ago. Now, the thinking behind this, sir, because I have to recall history to remind the House how much has changed in the last 10 years. The thinking behind this, I quote from the book of the National Security Advisor of the UPA government. He says the simple answer to why India did not immediately attack Pakistan is that after examining the options at the highest levels of the government, the decision makers concluded that more was to be gained from not attacking Pakistan than from attacking. So, sir, this is the thinking. So, I sir, want to today when we are hearing talk, hyphenation. Sir, these are people who are self-hyphenating themselves. They are telling Pakistan, you and I are the same level. We are both victims. So they did not need anybody in America or anywhere else to hyphenate them. They were doing it themselves. And most important, sir, they had routinized, they had normalized terrorism. They made out, हाँ terrorism हो गया, but चलिए dialogue के लिए चले जाते हैं. हर बार सर इतनी बड़ी घटना होती है, मुंबई 26/11 होती, ट्रेन बॉम्बिंग होती है, कुछ महीने बाद आप कहते हैं नहीं ठीक है वो हो गया चलिए बात के लिए चलते. अब आप ही बताइए सर, दुनिया आपको सीरियसली कैसे लेगी? आप दुनिया क्या सोचेगी? और आप सर जो 2004 में जो तय हुआ कि उनके यहाँ से कुछ भी होगा तो जिम्मेदारी उनकी होगी, आप तो भूल गए उसको.
प्लीज चेयर पर बैठ कर ना बोलना, ये सदन की परंपरा नहीं है. मेरा सबसे अनुरोध होगा, आप सबको मौका मिलेगा, अपना पक्ष रखेंगे. प्लीज.
अब सर मैं समझाना चाहूंगा कि पिछले दशक में क्या बदला. नरेंद्र मोदी के सरकार में आतंकवाद के बारे में क्या बदला. एक सर के आतंकवाद, टेररिज्म, अब हम लोग सर इसमें
माननीय गृह मंत्री के बयान के अलावा कोई और चीज रिकॉर्ड पे नहीं जा रही है, प्लीज।
सर
माननीय विदेश मंत्री, सॉरी, करेक्टेड, स्टैंड करेक्टेड, विदेश मंत्री, प्लीज।
Sir, let me tell you, sir, what has changed in the last decade. And I will keep it very sharp and short. Number one, we have been able to put terrorism on the global agenda. We have every forum, BRICS ho, Quad ho, SCO ho, bilateral ho. Today, if terrorism is on the global agenda, it is due to the efforts of the Modi government. Number two, sir, we were able to get Masood Azhar and Abdul Rahman Makki, two notorious terrorists, sanctions placed under the sanctions of the UN Security Council 1267. Three, sir, we were some years ago members of the Security Council. We were able to hold a Security Council meeting at the venue of terrorism attack, that is the Taj in Mumbai. That event had a huge impact about global consciousness on terrorism. Fourth, we were able, through bilateral agreements and understandings, get back terrorists from key countries who have been sent back to India under extradition agreements. And I remind you here, sir, that Tahavur Rana, who was wanted for 2611, finally has been brought back by the Modi government to India, who is today facing trial in this country.
Please.
We have exerted.
Please listen peacefully. Sanjay ji, please listen. Please
Sir,
listen.
We have exerted huge pressure on Pakistan through the FATF process. We have convened and we actually had a conference of no money for terror. We have today joined this effort at blocking, identifying financials of terrorists. We were, sir, able to get the Resistance Front listed as a global terrorist organization. And sir, I would like to inform the House that the monitoring team of the UN has submitted its 36th report of the Analytical Support and Sanctions Team. And it mentions, this has just been received, so it is made public today. For the first time, the United Nations report mentions the Resistance Front, TRF, saying that member states have noted that one member state said the Pahalgam attack could not have happened without Lashkar-e-Taiba support, and there was a relationship between LET and TRF. Another member state said attack was carried out by TRF, which is synonymous with LET, and it mentions that Pakistan actually opposed it and said LET was different. So we were able to get into UN a recognition that TRF today is a proxy for the LET and is responsible for Pahalgam. Now, sir, sometimes it is asked, saying, well, these are declarations, what do they matter? They matter, sir, because they shape global opinion. And again, I want to say, what is the change? Because change only comes out through contrast. Yesterday, sir, one honorable member made a reference to BRICS. We just had a BRICS meeting. For the first time, we were able, in a BRICS meeting, to get an explicit reference to a terrorist incident. It says here, the BRICS countries, sir, that we condemn in the strongest terms the terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir on 22 April, and we reaffirm our commitment to combating terrorism in all forms and manifestations, including cross-border terrorism. Now, sir, I want to draw a contrast to tell you the change of the last decade. In 2009, there was a BRICS meeting. It was the first BRICS meeting after the Mumbai 2611 attack. There is not even a reference to Mumbai in that BRICS committee. All it says is we strongly condemn terrorism in all forms and manifestations, reiterate that it has no justification. So today, sir, when people say, okay, where was Indian diplomacy? Indian diplomacy has been successful in getting America to declare TRF as a global terrorist organization, in getting the UN Security Council monitoring team to